All right, okay. So I wanted to, and can you see me here? No. Yes, you can. All right. Okay, so I wanted to do some housekeeping first, okay? The first thing I want you to do is, if you haven't scanned this QR code in yet, everybody please scan that in and sign in. So this is Lloyd Dill from Real Networking. He is one of my business partners. And he's created this thing called Real Networking, which is a really great way to manage all your events. And go ahead and very quickly say what Real Networking is, Lloyd.
Thank you. So Real Networking is a contact management system, and basically it starts out with an event. So you can check in when you arrive, regardless of where you heard about the event from, whether it was Meetup or just a friend said, come to this event. Once you check in, then your information is shared with everybody else in the room. So it's a live list of everyone that's here. And one of the new features that we have is you also automatically have a downloadable business card that's shared also with everybody in the room. And you decide whether or not you want to share your phone number, your email address. By default, it just refers back to the list, but it makes it super easy for everyone to get in touch with each other.
So long story short, you ever go to a networking group and you get 500 cards and you do nothing with them?
Yeah.
Right.
And you never make an appointment and you never get it into your CRM and it never gets in your phone?
Right.
Real Networking is a solution for that problem.
And we can actually upload directly to your CRMs and provide one if you don't have one.
So when you scan this in, this gets me to get your email information, so I can get it off of eBay and get it into my new CRM. So
And normally we have a little check-in form or QR code in front, but I'll be running around the room later. If you miss it, you can get it from me later.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Partner Pro is my new CRM, and we were definitely spending a lot of time yesterday making sure my events were in there today. So Partner Pro is my new CRM business partner. Fox Visuals. In all my events this year, you'll be able to get a free headshot. So Fox is not here today, but he should be, and he may be caught in traffic or something. He might roll in later. And then Clarice Ringwald is my image consultant. So as I was saying earlier, I wasn't sure as my hair was changing if my colors changed. So I'm like, Clarice, we gotta figure that out. And sure enough, my colors haven't changed. That's such a relief. Not yet anyway. I'm not white yet. But Clarice is definitely working with me on making sure that this upgrade of my image is in line with where I'm going. And I want to mention Mikey Maynard, who's a member of board developer. We met a couple weeks ago. I went through my pitch deck. Just talking with him made me realize I had to reconfigure what I'm thinking. He's a member of board developer. He's a genius. If you ever get a chance to have a coffee with Mikey, you should. And then Leslie Black. Leslie Black is my best friend, and she has been giving me all kinds of feedback. Ran through my entire pitch deck, and again, gave me some feedback that allowed me to trim things down. So thanks for that. Now I want everyone to meet Rodell Razor. He is the legacy pastor at my church, The Gathering. We are working together on a business group at The Gathering that is basically putting business first, faith-based businesses especially. And Rodell has come to bless my business because I am a Christian. You guys can be whatever you guys are. If you're a Christian, yay. If you're Jewish, yay. As long as you have like some understanding of like who you think hung the stars in the sky, and you're having an ongoing conversation with that, whatever that is, I'm cool with it. For me, it's Jesus, and I really felt that it was very important that and make sure that I'm letting people into the room. I thought it was very important that it was very important that we bless my business. That's one of the things that I'm bringing forward. Spirituality is one of the 9 pillars of wellness. And it's something I think we often miss. And it doesn't need to be like we're all singing around in a circle singing Kumbaya, or we're like hyper duper over to the top Christian, but there has to be something. For me, it's Christian. So I felt it was very important that I bring God into the mix. And so Rodell, I'm going to let you bless. It's blessed.
Sure. Thank you for having me come up front. Appreciate all you guys.
Sure, go ahead. The pink girls in one row here. Yeah.
I'm in the pink girl row.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
See you.
But thank you for having me, Michelle. Everybody who's joining online, I'll bless the business and bless Michelle. And if you guys are comfortable, you can raise your hand towards Michelle as a sign of acknowledgement. Father God, we thank you for the work that you've trusted Michelle to do. We pray a blessing over this business, that Choose Healthy Change be something that transforms people's lives, both their health, their mind, their spirit, their communities. Michelle is a pillar in this community. We're so grateful for her. God, we lift her up to you. We pray a covering and a blessing over her as she steps into a new season. That new seasons can come with so much uncertainty, and I pray that she just continues to look to honor and glorify you in everything that she does. We pray for the clients, the partners that you're going to bring her way, the transformation that she's going to continue to bring as she is a light to this world and to this community. We pray favor and abundance over the business, that God, you have your hand on it, and that you see everything that she's doing. Everything that she has done in the dark, God, will come to light, and you will provide favor over her company. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Wow, very good.
So I'm gonna just check and make sure I got these, okay, people in the waiting room, you. Admit. Okay, hey guys, hey Jim, hey Karen, sorry Karen, you can smack me later. I always mess up your name. Okay, everybody put themselves on mute, please. Hey Jackie, hey Karen. Everybody put yourself on mute because you have a really loud speaker. So mute all. Sorry, guys. There you go. Love ya. We just did our blessing. Hi there. And thanks for being online, guys. So new tech, I've got a camera over here, a camera over here, and a camera over here. So be patient with me. We just did a blessing of the business. Everyone kind of went around and introduced themselves just prior to the Zoom call. And thank you guys for being here virtually. I really appreciate you. I'm going to get on with my presentation. Can you guys see the PowerPoint? Yay, thanks. Karen's got the big thumbs up. I love that about you. Okay. All right, guys. So I wanted to just talk about why I made this pivot and like really what made me make this pivot. So many of you know that 2 years ago, I became the primary caregiver for my mom. During the pandemic, my dad died, and just a couple weeks before the shutdown, my mom, who had gotten married at 16 years old to my dad, had never lived alone, had never been without my dad, was now alone during the pandemic. And I became her primary caregiver, you know, her person when my dad died. Okay, my dad was the husband I always wanted. He did everything for her, everything the right way, and she had no idea how to do anything. So I took over as husband, and I became her person. But then 2 years ago, I took over as her primary caregiver. And taking care of my mother living in Sun City, while I helped a person who was close to me survive a cardiac arrest. And the cardiac arrest, I won't get too much into that situation, but when you save someone's life, it really does. I just got a chill, and Shara's looking at me because she's a doctor, and so she knows what I'm talking about. When you save somebody's life, you cannot look away from the responsibility of what that means, okay? So now I'm responsible for a life. I had saved a life. And I realized in November that I needed to make some changes in my partnerships. I had been sharing product first. I had focused on nutrition for a long time. I've been a personal trainer, a yoga teacher, and a health coach for 42 years. But about 7 years ago, I started to partner with a nutrition company, and I was sharing primarily nutrition. And nutrition, honestly, still partnering with a nutrition company. I'll talk to you more about that in a minute, but still super important. But I started to feel kind of disingenuous about the rest of it, okay? Especially as Rodell and I are growing our faith together at the gathering, okay? And surprise, if ever you want a really good public speaking experience, never mind, spirituality, come over to the gathering. As I started to develop myself as a human and to get into my caregiving self, I started to remember the person who double majored in art and psychology. I started to remember my art. I started to remember everything about the things that I do to be well myself as I was trying to help my mom be well. And so when I made a decision to change my nutrition partnership, it was during the holidays. And it forced me to take a pause, which is like God doing for me what I wouldn't have done for myself, because you guys know me in this room, I'm like, let's get it done, right? I had to take a pause, right? And in that pause, I realized I needed to get accountable for all of wellness. And I also wanted to make sure that people could work with me in multiple ways, because some people didn't want to work with my nutrition company. Didn't mean that it wasn't a great nutrition company, just they already had something they were doing that they loved, okay? Maybe their budget didn't allow for it. And I thought, well, I remember the social worker. Some of you don't know about this about me. I was a social worker in New York City for 3 years in the Salvation Army Women's Shelter. Then I ran a recreation program for people with AIDS in the Bronx. And what I realized was the nonprofits were really, sorry to say, guys, usually very poorly run businesses, and that drove me crazy, okay? And then I thought, well, I focused on my personal training business, and then I became a financial advisor. And so I started to do all the pillars of wellness in my life. But now I realize in this pause, I needed to bring that all together. So Choose Healthy Change has been repositioned as a wellness company that's holistically looking at wellness, not just for individuals, not just for businesses, and not just for nonprofits, but for all of them. So if you're a single person, or you're a person working in a business, or you're a business owner, or you're a nonprofit, there's a place for you with Choose Healthy Change. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, hey guys, can you hear me okay on the Zoom? Okay, all right. So here's my mission. I changed this mission about a year ago. I empower individuals, businesses, and nonprofits to foster well-being and thrive on purpose. But then I realized I was only talking about nutrition. So I said, well, what's my vision for this company? My vision is to improve the quality of life for as many people as possible by delivering simple, powerful wellness solutions that elevate health, ignite purpose, and inspire individuals, businesses, and communities to thrive. So that's a much bigger business, and that's a God mission. You know, I'm a Christian, and so I'm inspired to help as many people as I can, whether they follow my beliefs or not. As a Christian, I'm called to do that. So I've become very accountable for my mission, okay? So here are the 9 pillars of wellness, okay? So physical was health teacher, health coach, personal trainer, nutrition, yoga teacher. The mental part of it, as I'm taking care of my mom, has become really super duper important. Cognitive health is super important. And how many people are having a hard time remembering names? Okay. Super duper, right? And you know, last night we were working on getting my courses into Partner Pro, and everything changed. There was like settings that changed. So we have all these things changing everywhere all the time, and our brains are so overloaded, right? The emotional, of course, we all know that we need to feel better, right? We need to have, this is the Fifi part of it, okay? And I'm going to go through this a little bit more in the next slides. Professional, environmental, financial, social, fun, and creativity, which is, no one ever talks about that. Hello, okay, right? Okay, and then spirituality, okay? So these are the 9 pillars. And the way I'm breaking it down is into the core pillars. So a lot of wellness programs will deal with the physical, they'll deal with the mental, and they'll deal with the emotional, okay? They know they need to do something for their employees and their coworkers' health. This is like whether you're an individual and you're the CEO of your own life, or whether you're a business owner or you're a nonprofit. We already know that we need to take care of our bodies and we already know we need to take care of our minds, and we already know our emotions. I mean, come on, okay? Emotions are like everything, right? So we already know that. And the foundational pillars, when it comes to business and it comes to being productive, is about purpose. Now, a lot of wellness programs will call this professional or vocational, but I think it's purpose, because guess what? Living in Sun City, when you retire, if you've seen the Blue Zones, Living to 100, you have to have purpose in your life. So I rewrote this whole thing, that you're committing to something that matters is super duper important, okay? And then financial. Rodell is a financial advisor. I've been a financial advisor. If you're not taking care of your finances, I mean, money is not important, but it's right up there with air. Okay, so if you're not navigating there, I mean, it's hard to do the Maslow hierarchy of needs if you haven't got a roof over your head. Having worked with homeless people, amen, right? And then environmental, you know, space is everything. Okay, if you live in a clutter, if you're working in a hole, if you're not taking care of your environment, if you're using toxic products to clean your space, and you're not cleaning at all, go figure. That's really important. So a lot of wellness programs will look at this. If you're rising in desks that raise and lower. I have one of those, right? But here are the forgotten pillars: social, strong relationships, and not enough companies individually or people really. And if you watch me on Facebook and you pay attention to me at all, you know that social is super important to me, because I know that people and your family, your friends, your coworkers, that's the point of life. People, I hate to tell you, your work is just something you do to be able to do that. Okay. And then fun and creativity. Here's something that we don't talk. Hello. Okay. So are you traveling? Are you having fun? Are you getting out on your motorcycle if you ride one of those? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing for personal expression? So Clarice and I were talking about this. Your wardrobe and how you present yourself, and look at lid charts here. Come on. Okay. Personal expression. It's so important. Being authentically who you are is so important, and having hobbies and play. If you're not doing this, and you're just grinding all the time, you are not healthy. And then it's last on this list, but it's first on my list, okay? My commitment to my higher power, to my God, Jesus, is so important. It's what drives everything I do. If you ever want to know anything about me, just know that. I have been put on this planet for a much higher purpose, and that's the reason why I changed my business. All right, so individual wellness is for wellness that works for real people, okay? And I forgot to do the screen back there. So I didn't want to create a membership program that was about, here's your workout program, here's your meal list, here's your things, okay? I have learned over training literally thousands of people in the 42 years I've been a trainer that people did not hire me because I was a great trainer, which by the way, I can kick all your butts. I'm an excellent trainer, okay? I'm certified in 3 organizations. I've trained a lot of people. I was an elite level gymnast. I can train the crap out of you, okay? But what I realized is that people were making an appointment with me for accountability, okay? And so this is an accountability motivation program. It's affordable, okay? Because I knew that was really important because most people can't afford, if you were to hire me as a personal trainer, I'm $150 an hour. I felt guilty asking for it and I stopped doing it because I didn't feel it was disingenuous to me. So this is an affordable program. It's flexible, okay? And it's a community, it's inspirational, and it's about follow through, okay? So this is an individual program that I've created. And it's a perfect fit for people who are committed to change, okay? They're self-employed, they're gig workers, maybe they have a job, but they don't have a wellness program. Businesses that want to support their employee and their contractors' wellness. So this is an individual wellness program, whether you're in an organization or you're not, that allows you to, pay attention to your health. And also it's affordable, it's flexible, it's structured, and it's a shared journey. So if you're doing a different nutrition program, you're at a different gym, you've hired a personal trainer, whatever your personal thing is, that's fine. People used to say, Michelle, what's the best workout? I said, the one you'll do. Right? So I realized that like forcing someone to do any one particular program was really limiting me, okay? And so this is allowing people to do whatever their program is. Okay, so you guys are all gonna get an invitation to the Elevate Wellness Community, okay? It's my gift to all of you for 6 months. My ask for you is for you guys to give me feedback because I'm building this from scratch. So you guys are all gonna get an evaluation and it's gonna talk about those 9 pillars and you're gonna tell me, private, confidential, won't be shared with anybody, what your goals are, okay? And then we'll have weekly community accountability meetings. And there's also a Facebook community and there's a real networking community that's gonna keep you accountable to your goals, okay? So everybody's, don't scan that yet. Because it's not live yet. I'm going to email it to you. Now, this is going to be for the first Q1 and Q2. We're going to be working through the wellness community. In Q3, I'm adding the Elevate Wellness Circle. Now, here's where we're adding in a little bit more fun. So we're going to do retreats. Okay, we're going to do paddle boarding. We're going to have all kinds of things that you can do, get out there and have fun. Okay, we're going to go to musical events. So if you've ever been like, I really want to do something, but I got nobody to do it with, this is where you're going to be able to do it. That's $49.95 a month, and it's an extra level. Plus, you'll get one-on-one options with me as well. So first, we're going to work out all the bugs. You guys are going to help me do that for Q1 and Q2, and then Q3 we're going to elevate to the circle. So the next thing is the wellness connection. This is a wellness connection that works for the workforce and for your budget. Okay, so this isn't something new that I've done. Okay, I have done a wellness program for IDX Systems Corporation when I was in grad school. It won an award from the state of Vermont's Governor's Council 3 years in a row. And the biggest reason it won an award was because I communicated internally and I marketed externally what we were doing. Okay, so I'm taking what I've already done and I'm now providing it to businesses that have, preferably a workforce of 100 or more. It's going to help that workforce become, here's some of the challenges that we're having, okay? The West Valley especially is growing. So how do you become an employer of choice? The fact of the matter is that the Valley is growing like just so fast that everyone's fighting for employees. So what are you going to do that's going to make you the employer of choice, okay? How are you going to attract employees that have the same values as you? They're going to show up, that are driven, okay? And then rising stress, disengagement, absenteeism. We all know that, right? I mean, there's people that aren't on the Zoom today because of all those things. Okay, they got to be too much. They weren't able to make it here today. High turnover, declining morale, and then recruiting. Okay, so recruiting is like a huge thing. It costs you twice as much money to replace an employer as it does to hire one. So This is for, employees aren't leaving just for pay, they're leaving because of culture, support, and growth. So who has ever left a job or fired a client because it was the wrong fit? Okay? This is what the Wellness Connection does, is to help your company, your organization be the right fit. Okay? And so what I'm doing here is, ideal client for me here is a self-owned and managed business with more than 100 employees. Okay, why? Because I don't want to have to go through committee approval. I will, but I want to move fast here. So over 100 employees, self-owned and managed. Okay, contractors or employees. Companies that have contractors looking for something even more so than people, than employees, because there's so much they can't do. Okay. Leaders and HR teams who value people and performance. So I know that sounds like, shouldn't everybody value their people? Okay, we don't have to even go there. Industries with high stress, physical demand, and turnover. Okay, so really great industries for me are manufacturing and distribution, transportation and logistics, call centers and customer service, construction and blue collar trades. Guess what? This is what's happening in the West Valley. Okay, so not a fit. A business not willing to invest in their people. So if you have a company that's just not willing to do anything for their people, they're not even remotely someone I want to talk to. So what I'll be doing is a wellness assessment, and this is where all of you guys come in and why I needed to make this official. Okay, you guys all know that collaborating is my love language, right? You know, it's not in the 5 agreements or whatever. What's the name of the book? Love languages. Five love languages. Yeah, it's not in there, but it should be a 6th one. Okay. And what I'll do is create a customer engagement plan with that company, okay? And then ongoing support, and then there's optional nutrition. I do have a nutrition program that I will provide if they want it. It's optional, okay? And then in that nutrition program, if there's a possible profit sharing possibility, okay? So the difference is, this is not a one and done thing. I'm going into the company, I'm doing an assessment, I'm interviewing their employees, I'm taking a look at their culture, I'm looking at what they currently have for benefits, how they're using it, how they're not using it. The biggest thing with IDX is we had a ton of benefits. We had a ton of benefits, okay? No one knew them. There's so many people that don't even know they have a nursing line they can call. If they knew they had a nursing line they could call about that pink eye or whatever it was that was making them not show up, they don't even know, okay? So I go take a look at what their current benefit program is, what they're currently doing. I interview their people and I put a plan together, good, better, best, custom, and they can choose that it's going to be where they want to go, okay? So this is the 5 ways that people can do business with me, okay? Spark is nothing, it's just nutrition, okay? They don't pay a thing. It's a nutrition program, and we'll talk about that individually with each person that chooses that, okay? Wellspring is $15 a head. It's nutrition, again, optional. It's the Elevate Wellness community. Every employee gets a key to that community. It's marketing consulting. Okay, so this is a way for me to take Michelizzi Media, which has been around for 37 years, and Choose Healthy Change, which has been around for 42 years, and making them do this, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Founder Circle bonus, but I'm looking for companies that are willing to do the Wellspring in this season, okay? I'm going to be adding in this, for this Founders Circle, 2 events and reporting, you know, data that they can use in this season, okay? Now, moving forward in Q3 and Q4, there's Momentum, which will be all of what Wellspring is, and 4 events, deeper level of marketing consulting and a deeper level of reporting. And then Premier, which is $18 to $20 a head, all the things from Momentum plus execution. So if you're in a company that's not doing email marketing, it's not doing social media, then we can execute on the marketing level, okay? And then Signature is completely custom. So if I go into a company like Michelle, we get all of it. Just like, we want you to take this over, then I can put a completely custom program in place. But in Q1 and Q2, I'm working on making sure the wellness community is functioning optimally, and I'm making sure I've worked out all the bugs, okay? So at the Founders Circle, I'll talk about a little bit more at the end. So the growth edge is the next piece I want to talk about, and that's how I'm serving nonprofits. So the growth edge is wellness that funds and fuels your mission. So this is geared just for nonprofits, okay? And to give you a little history about nonprofits, those of you who know me, I'm a philanthropist, right? My art, I always give 10 to 20% of my art, sometimes all of it away to charity, okay? So I've always found I can give talent, time, treasure, and ties. Ties. I got that from you. Okay, so I've always given talent, time, and ties, but now I want to give treasure. Okay, so this is my extra effort, and Sharon and I have been talking about this for a long time. I'll talk to you a little bit more about Sharon in a minute. But this is another way for me to help nonprofits to fuel their mission, okay? So nonprofits are faced with a couple things. Of all the nonprofits, 70% of them make less than $100,000. There's 34,000 nonprofits in Arizona alone, 34,000, okay? They make less than $100,000. Of those, that chapter of $100,000, okay? Those people make only 20% of the 70% make more than 100,000. The rest of them are making no money. Those are my people. Okay, if you're charging your internet fees and your telephone because you're trying to run your nonprofit, those are my people. The people that can benefit over $2,000 to $5,000 a month, okay, are my people, and more. I mean, we can grow this as high as they want to work. Okay, so mission driven but under resourced. Okay, so there's not enough income coming in. They're relying on one-dimensional fundraising. You know, they're asking people for money and not getting it. There's inconsistent revenue streams. They have a limited donor engagement. This is also very important to have donor engagement, okay? Because if you're not doing things with your people, by creating a wellness program that you're engaging with your people, you're actually creating something that people will get involved in, okay? And then burnout, okay? How many times have you been invited to an event for $350 a ticket and you're like, I get 15 invites a month. I can't do it, you know? See you later, board developer people. They have it. They snuck in. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you for coming, Jim. And so this is about the impact that we're trying to make here is we're trying to help nonprofits to fundraise, okay? So in this case, a perfect fit would be a nonprofit that's looking for sustainable revenue. They're willing to diversify their income sources, okay? They're okay with some modern fundraising ideas, and they're ready to engage their donors, okay? And they're ready to grow on purpose. Those are really ideal nonprofit partners for me. So the solution is by creating a wellness program for the nonprofit, it allows them to engage their donors. It creates recurring revenue. It has a mission-driven partnership alignment to it. And it's also all your businesses, I'm going to invite to do a wellness connection. So if they do a wellness connection and they decide to do a nutrition program, a percentage of that profit can be gifted back to the charity. So not only is the Growth Edge a opportunity for me to serve, but it's also a funnel builder for the wellness connection. Okay. So again, benefits to donors and business partners. It gives when you're getting involved with a nonprofit. When I did my cause marketing analysis in a different life of my business, okay, people would basically decide that they were going to sponsor a nonprofit and then do nothing with it and wondered why cause marketing wasn't doing anything for their business. If you don't do something with your cause marketing, it's not doing anything for your business. And if you're a donor and you're getting involved with an organization and you're not engaging with that organization, you're also not having an opportunity to, you know, increase morale and all the things that come from gifting, okay? And so with the Growth Edge, I wanted to talk about this. So we'll talk about Shackley in a minute, okay? But with this model, we are gifting 10 to 40% to the nonprofit, okay? Amazon Smile, which is of course gone defunct, they only gave 0.5%. That's why they failed. Who wants 0.5%? Okay. And Kendra Scott was 20% of sales. It was one event and it was done. Okay. This is an ongoing scalable income. The other was passive. The one was a one-time, one-off. This program is fully customizable and it has total branding opportunity. Amazon had no branding. Kendra had very minimal. Engagement is across the board, staff, donors, businesses, it's complete engagement. This was customer driven engagement and that didn't involve your people at all. And so the value add is wellness, sustainability, and revenue. And this was just donations under a certain circumstance, event, or, you know, you drive someone to a link, okay? And so here's the engagement options. And we're not going to talk too much about the future, okay? But right now at Flourish, it costs nothing for the nonprofits to be involved. And we're focusing on wellness. In the future, there'll be a travel component. There'll also be a gratitude component. But in Q1, we're focusing on wellness. And for the founder circle in the first year of this, Myron and Sharon, which we'll talk about in a minute, are going to get additional deep dive strategy session work for free. Okay. And then moving forward, this mirrors what the Wellness Connection is for the nonprofit. So depending upon the nonprofit, when I do an assessment, we can decide if we're gonna, $14.99 a head for the Wellness Connection. By the way, they get 40% of anything they drive to the Wellness Elevate community. So it's another additional fundraising opportunity, and they'll get different levels of marketing forward. But in the first rendition of this, we're only focusing on getting the kinks moved and move in the right direction. It's at no cost at all to the nonprofits, okay? So I just want to talk a little bit about marketing and consulting, looking at time. So I've been in marketing. My first degrees are in photography, the concentration, fine art with the concentration of photography. I am also have a degree in computer design from Pratt Manhattan, one of the best art schools in the country. And I've had a marketing company for 37 years where I've helped hundreds of businesses, okay? So I'm always building in, if you guys know me, you know that's true. I'm always doing some kind of strategy work with everybody, okay? And so what I know about communication is that there's two different kinds of communications. Internal communication within an organization, making sure that everybody knows what's going on. And there's external communication to the external marketing to the outside world. So when you're doing a wellness program, we're not only going to be talking about that wellness program, whether it's your nonprofit or your for-profit business or individually, internally in your life, internally in your business, internally in your nonprofit, but we're also going to be external marketing so you can become an example of the change that you want to see in the world personally, okay? And you can become an employer of choice, and you can become a nonprofit that is literally reinforcing their credibility and their influence by communicating effectively to the outside world. So with Michelizzi Media, I'll be helping you to do that. So you're not just getting a wellness program, you're getting a wellness program. I used to say on steroids, but I won't say that anymore because it's a really awful thing. Steroids. It's a wellness program with a marketing boost, okay? Because if you're doing something and you're not actually talking about it with people and they don't know that you're doing it, it's if you're not doing it. And you're wasting a lot of time and energy, okay? So I'll be talking about with positioning. We'll be talking about realistic marketing planning. We'll be creating systems and structure. So if you're communicating and you're social, it needs to match your email and it needs to match what you're putting out there in the world, by the way. I know it sounds insane, but I can't tell you how many people I work with. They have one person doing their social media, one person doing their email, a different person doing their videos, and none of them talk to each other. Okay, so we'll be talking about getting all of these, and Jackie's smiling at me because Jackie was in the print industry for years. So she knows that she is creating a print campaign, but then she looks at her website, the print campaign is green, the website's pink, and the email marketing is yellow. Okay, and all the verbs and the things are all different. Okay, so we'll be talking about all of that. Plus you get access to the marketing lab, which I'll talk about in a minute. Those two of those this year, where we're talking about marketing specifically. Okay, so it's best for self-owned and managed businesses ready to grow. Okay, it's best for nonprofits that are seeking sustainable visibility and fundraising momentum. And it's ready for leaders who are ready to clear up the noise. Okay, so a lot of businesses are out there, and we have another marketing professional in the house that there's a lot of noise. They're just throwing up stuff on social media, and it means nothing, and you have no idea what they're doing. Okay, so that's what that's the marketing sport's going to be. So it's getting to the event series. Okay. Events.choosehealthychange.com. You can scan the QR code here. Okay, I'll be doing events in the community space. Well, Valentine's Day is actually, I forgot to take out. We've moved that to an April timeframe. But we're doing a spring fling in the spring and a holiday party. So you'll be able to look at events.choosehealthychange.com and scan the QR code, and you can save the dates. With the Wellness Connection on February 19th, I have one coming up. I'll talk about that more in a minute. And in June and October, and those are all opportunities for business owners and nonprofits and individuals to come learn about the benefits of wellness programming. It's value driven. There's 4 speakers plus myself. It's all about learning. It's $49. You get a headshot from Fox Visuals when you come. Okay. With the marketing lab, in March, we're talking about cause marketing, and you can register for that now. And in August, we're talking about clarity. So you're going to come 4 speakers. Once again, huge mad value, $49 headshot. Okay. The Growth Edge, in April, we're talking about sustainable growth. In July, we're talking about strategic alignment. In November, we're talking about get ready for the next year. Hello. Okay. In November, not in February. Okay. And then signature events, you guys just need to watch my social, because like this weekend, I have a ride, if you ride a motorcycle, we're riding out to Wickenburg. We have a brunch planned, that's a totally elevated experience. We're gonna get to meet the horses. We're taking over the entire 19 room for a bunch of biker chicks. That's super fun. So watch my social, things will come up. If you're a member of my hot tamale group, it's so funny. It's 9 years ago, we started this group and we decided to call ourselves Hot Tamales. I do a spring and a winter lunch dinner. In April, we're going to the Global Ambassador. We're gonna have like a fantastic dinner and we're gonna go play upstairs with all the cuties upstairs in nice outfits, okay? And then Biker Chicks Unite is where I focus on women bikers specifically. So you're gonna watch that, watch my social. On Thursday, we're going to Polly's. We're gonna listen to Frank Sinatra being sung, and we're gonna eat a lot of pasta and have to do extra cardio. So that's all about fun stuff, okay? So let's see. This is the next one. You can scan the QR code. So Leslie is gonna be speaking about HR and benefits. She's a freaking rock star, okay? My girlfriend, Dr. Kim Lannon, I was a gymnast with. I've known Kim for 50 years. She's a psychologist. She's amazing. She's gonna talk about the psychology of wellness, okay? Mackenzie Oakley is from Access Culture Group. She's gonna talk about leadership. She focuses on middle managers, okay? And Jason Von Payne is State 48 Roofing. He was in a BNI with Riddell and I. This guy, dude, he's a machine, okay? He's a machine, and he focuses on wellness like very few businesses do. And I want him to talk about what he sees happening in his company. And I'll, of course, be talking about the whole thing. So it's February 19th, 10 to noon. It's sponsored by MOMBA, and it's gonna be at the Goodyear Flight Center. Super excited about Goodyear Flight Center. I went to visit yesterday, and there's a bunch of, they've taken the Goodyear Airport, and they've turned it into office space. So they'll be coming and talking about the office space. MOMBA is a really cool home care opportunity that if you're taking care of an aging parent and you're ready to tap into Medicaid help, then you can get paid by MOMBA to take care of your parent. So there'll be an awful lot of what I'm doing, talking about taking care of aging parents, okay? The marketing lab is in March. Rosie Conzoom from Husband and Wife Law Team and Leslie Cabellas from Dignity Health will be talking about how they use cause marketing the right way. Okay, they are doing things together. They are internally and externally communicating it. Okay, so it's marketing with heart, cause marketing strategy. So if you have any desire to work with Sharon or to work with Myron, and we'll talk more about their charities in a minute, you want to do it the right way. So that's what we'll be talking about here. And there's always a social media component to what I do, by the way. Please, everybody take photographs and please text them to me because I'm making a reel later. Usually I use Photo Circle, but there's not enough time for me to explain that this time around. So there'll be 2 of these marketing labs, okay? And then the business alliance. And this is where you guys come in. So collaboration is my love language, okay? All of you guys who came because we have some kind of synergy. There's something about me that you're like, huh, okay? So I am not a competitor. I wish I was. It would have been so much easier in life, okay? I'm a lover, not a fighter, okay? So no matter what your organization is, I want to partner with you. So chefs, for example, we're going to be coming in and doing cooking classes. Other wellness people, other financial people. If you're doing something with people and you're serving people, we have synergy. Okay, and either you are doing one little tiny component of wellness and you want to use the Elevate Wellness community to elevate what you're already doing, which by the way is my word for 2026, elevating. Or maybe you're a personal trainer, but you don't want to do all the fluffy stuff. Maybe you're kind of fluffy, but you're on the other part of stuff. It's synergistic opportunity, okay? Where you can, if you're a massage therapist and a spa, by the way, Marlena has a spa downtown, I can get a facial, that's where you need to go, okay? So when I go into a business, if there's a gym or there's spas around, I'm gonna be reaching out to what's in the neighborhood, because guess what? Proximity matters. So I am looking for as many collaboration partners as possible. This is like the power team BNI on steroids. I gotta find a different way to say that. It's boosted, okay? And so your network is your net worth, okay? So I want to give Brian a little heads up here. Brian is the Better Business Bureau. He's a sales guy that got me to do this whole thing. So Brian, can you do me a favor and just give a couple minutes, a minute or so about about the Better Business Bureau and how people can join and how freaking fabulous it is to be here?
Absolutely. Yeah. You want me
Yeah, come on up.
to-
Everybody, my name is Brian Vieira. I am a senior executive with the Better Business Bureau here, Pacific Southwest, SoCal, Central and Inland California as well. I absolutely love Michelle. Like she said, when we first talked, there was something there, right? We are both Italianos. So that right away, Siciliano myself as well, Mexicano as well. My father, I can't leave him out.
For Sicily right now.
Yeah, but the Better Business Bureau. This place is awesome. Okay, I love it here. There's a passion from me for ethics and the community that goes hand in hand, right? When you support the BBB, you directly support your loved ones, your friends, your family, your neighbors. They come here to protect themselves from scammers, and they get to do that for free. Why? Because we are supported by great little business like Michelle, okay? It's all based on your size. 0 to 10 is a tier, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 65, 75, 85, and so on. But all of your investment is tax deductible at the end of the year, okay? So it comes full circle on. But the 113 years of power, the honesty, the integrity, it uplifts small businesses. You can utilize that power. We'll give you a web presence. This facility, you can utilize this facility. That same 65 bucks, 8 hours every month for the entire year. We rent some of these rooms at $100 an hour. So you can do the math, right? Speaks for itself. It's a no-brainer. But when you pair that with everything else that comes along, it's incredible. Me, myself, yeah, it's very fulfilling to me as I work here. I love it. The team, the culture, I've never had anything like it before. But it's my mission to help small business owners succeed. And basically, that's what it is in a nutshell, right?
And I'm gonna.
Q&A, any questions?
I'm gonna be putting that, not time for questions now, but maybe
Okay.
later. But reach out to Brian.
Yeah.
It's really a no-brainer being a member of the Better Business Bureau because you're allowed to put that logo on your website. You do have to actually be interviewed to be part of the BBB. And it was a very important part of my decision to elevate my business. So,
Absolutely.
and I made Brian come here. I was like, Brian, dude, you gotta be here." Yeah, you know how I do that, right? So, thanks, dude. And I will
absolutely.
definitely put Brian's
All my information, yes, with the Lloyd's
Real networking, thank you.
Oh, awesome.
we've been
Awesome. I'm a member
for
of the
like
West
19
Valley
years.
Regional Chamber. You've been a member for 19 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We had
Bye.
somebody write a bad thing and she was like, you get crazy.
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
So, I mean, she ended up taking it down because after, they got involved and we got involved and they supported the business. So, they ended up taking it.
I was worried about that too. Like if somebody gives me a bogus review, the Better Business Bureau will take down bogus reviews. You can't just have like your ex-boyfriend go in there.
Yeah,
and-
it was like,
Yeah.
but there.
So I wanted to share that I'm also a member of the West Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce. I'm a real believer that you should choose, a couple organizations to get deeply involved in. I'm a member of the Manufacturing Supply Chain Committee at the Chamber. I'm a member of the Healthcare Committee and the Marketing Committee. If you haven't visited the West Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce yet, and you're in business, you need to put that on your calendar, okay? Cliff Yoder and Ashley, oh my God. I see, there you go, the cognitive thing.
Carol,
That's
Ashley,
Carol, thank you. Our membership people there, and I'll put their, thank you, whoever that was, thank you, who was that? So then, Conscious Capitalism is an organization that I'm not currently a member of, but I'm signing back up, okay? Because I really truly believe that as a capitalist, which I believe in capitalism, by the way, it's not that all stakeholders are important. The community, your clients, everybody in the ecosystem of your business is really important. And conscious capitalism is a really great way to stay pointed on that. Real networking is Lloyd. We've already heard from Lloyd. Super important part of my business this year. All of our events will be on Real Networking. I'm also partnering with Lloyd on multiple levels. I love what he's doing because how many of us have a Tupperware full of cards that we haven't ever put into I have a Tupperware full of cards that my cat constantly knocks off the end table and onto the floor that needs to get put in there. So I just love what he's doing. On top of that, Lloyd is an exceptional human. I honestly feel Lloyd so privileged that we found each other. He's amazing. I'm a member of the Gathering. I've mentioned that before. Okay. We have a business leaders group. Okay. I also run a biker group at the Gathering because, you should. And in December, we have the second annual toy run. We're partnering with the Surprise Police Department. I love this. They're doing all the work for me. All we have to do is show up happy with toys. It's so great. We had 12 bikes this year because we were just doing internal, like let's check it out thing. But our next year, we have a goal of 100 bikes.
Wow.
Okay.
The Gathering, you said Surprise?
The Gathering and Surprise.
What's the address? Reams? Is
It's-
that Reams and Bell?
It's the, oh my gosh, isn't it terrible that we don't have the address in our head?
Well.
It's in the Vista Art Center.
Valley Vista Performing Arts Center,
Okay,
Valley Vista High School campus.
okay.
And we are building a 700 square feet.
Okay.
Amazing building right now. And so I want you to understand this about me. My goal is to tithe $100,000 a year. So I can help that organization, and other organizations like Sharon's and Myron's. That's my long-term goal, is to be able to tithe 100,000 a year. So when you support Choose Healthy Change, 10% of everything I make is going to organizations like the Gathering and to Lloyd and Sharon in different places, okay? And then I'm the vice president of the Phoenix Order of Sons and Daughters of Italy, because why not? So that's really an important part of, so getting to the point, people are so curious, like, who is my new nutrition partner, okay? So I chose Chackley. I chose Chackley because they are 70 years in business. They are a family-owned company. Super important for me. I wanted it to be owner, managed, and run. And Shackley is, Roger Barnett is the owner, and he's actively involved. He's my age. He's not going anywhere. He's forward thinking. My upline is a freaking rock star. She has a personal branding company in California. She gets my polypreneurship south. And so Shackley is my nutrition program, not only because of the company, but also because they're the original formulators of the vitamin. Their supplements are top notch. A lot of companies have absorbed, Shackley has absorbed a lot of companies in the network marketing space, including Rodell's former company. A lot of his people went to Shackley. A lot of people from my former company went to Shackley. Okay, I love their Meology product. You fill out a complete questionnaire, you put in your blood work, and they give you a personalized vitamin.
Yeah.
And everybody needs that. Okay. I wanted to get away from my nutrition partner being completely focused on weight loss. Okay, and I'll tell you what happened. I had someone in my life have a severe health crisis, and it was because of, shall I just say, our failings as a society when it comes to what's really healthy. Your weight and what you look like on the outside is not what makes you healthy. Even though, I mean, if we're 500 pounds, okay, there's that. But I think our society, the reason why I didn't become a fashion photographer is I didn't want to take pictures of emaciated people. And the reason why I switched to my nutrition partner was in part because I wanted a company that had a holistic wellness approach, the same way my company did, that had different price points as well. Okay, there's a lot more affordable options in Shackley. My mom is on the vitamins, $25 a month, and lots of people can do that. Okay, so Shackley is my nutrition partner. I'm super excited about it. They're based out of Miami, and I'm just super excited about the whole Shackley thing. Travel partnership is Passport Light, and in the future, Elite Travel. Okay, so if you guys know DJ Barton, he's a really close friend. He's the owner of the company. He's a rock star. He's values-based, and the travel piece will be built into the Growth Edge. Okay, but it will also be built into any of the consulting opportunities that I have with companies. So if you have a sales force and you're traveling, why shouldn't your company be benefiting from the travel that you're already doing with your sales force? So the travel part of it is going to be built into your wellness assessment, but also is eventually in Q3 will be part of the Growth Edge. And then a gratitude partnership. I've been a Send Out Cards user for 15 years. Any business that doesn't use Send Out Cards is missing the buck. Even if you have a free account and you're just sending a card once in a while, but Send Out, the whole gratitude movement with Send Out Cards, gratitude is so important. And I really not only love the card aspect of what Send Out Cards does, I love their culture. If you're a business owner and you're having a hard time putting your feet on the ground every day, Lloyd is doing Send Out Cards with me as well. it's the gratitude piece of send out cards is so important for wellness in particular. So, send out cards is my gratitude partnership. Now that will be built into all of my, marketing pieces. Anybody who works with me knows that I recommend send out cards to everybody, because you might get 300 emails a day, but if you get one card, I bet you pay attention to that, okay? So, the founder circle, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I'm taking a look at time. We got 10 minutes left. So here's my ask, okay? First of all, I want to tell you that the Elevate Wellness community, it's free for veterans. It's free for adult children who are independently caring for a parent. So if you have another person like me that's self-funding, taking care of their parent, they get the Wellness Connection for free, okay? You just send me an email, let me know who they are, I'll send them an invitation, they get it for free. New business owners in their first year of business. Hello. Who has been in the first year where you're just bootstrapping and you're not quite sure what's going to happen next? So anybody who's in their first year of business gets it for free, and if you're unemployed. So those people get the Wellness Connection for free. Just send me over peeps, and the only thing I'm going to ask for them is they give it forward and they do something nice 4 hours out of the month for somebody else. That's the only thing I'm going to ask for them. So I'm asking you guys for 50 new members for the Elevate Wellness community. You're going to get an invitation for the community. I'd like you to invite a couple people to come on board, and the first Q1, my goal is 50 members. Now, you can do it one of two ways. You can just send me people, that's very nice of you, or you can send me people and get 40% commission. If you choose to take the 40% commission, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I mean, come on, right? Send me two for every one that you would have sent me, okay? So that's kind of the deal. So if you send me a member, when you send them your link with inside if it's powered by school, by the way, you'll get a 40% commission. Nonprofits, same thing. Nonprofits get 40% of anybody they put into the Wellness Connection, okay? And for businesses, okay? So normally I'm gonna be charging per head, and then you get charged, there's like an a la carte menu, right? I want 4 businesses that are wanting to come on and use the Wellness Connection, and all of their employees get it, no matter how many employees they've got, okay? They get an advanced strategy session with my marketing company, and they also get 2 events planned. Now, if they choose to have a yoga teacher, there'll be an initial charge for like any extra stuff that we choose to do. But if they choose to go paddleboarding, I'm gonna run the paddleboarding thing, and they can, if someone has their own paddleboard, great, no cost to the company. If Canyon Paddles is partnering with me at the Saltwater River for paddleboards. So depending upon what their events are, they get 2 events. They get me as a marketing consultant for free, okay? And they get all of their people get to go into the Elevate Wellness community. It's $625 a month. That's for the first 6 months. After the 6 months, they can either continue on with the $625 for a year, or they can choose a custom plan. So they may be like, my God, this is so working. We want a custom thing. And then the pricing will change, okay? That's for Q1 and Q2, okay? Now for Q1 and Q2, I've got my nonprofit partners. I wanted 2, I got 2, okay? So the Anthony Bates Foundation and Real Fathers Inc., okay? I want you guys to stand up and literally give me 30-second commercial about what you do. Because we're in 30 seconds. Because we want to respect first time. So Sharon and I met 7 years ago when I was interviewing 13 nonprofits. It was my Art of Fearlessly Doing Business, my Art of Fearlessly Giving Back series, okay? She was a runner-up. I was interviewing 13 nonprofits to see if they had the bandwidth to be able to do a full project with me, and nobody did. That was a part of what made me realize I needed to find something that was turnkey. So Sharon is Anthony Bates Foundation. Like I told you, I've had 3 people in my life have a cardiac event, 2 ended with death and 1 should have, okay? This is so important.
Anthony was my son. He died age 20 from sudden cardiac arrest. He had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, the leading killer of young athletes in our country. I started a screening program, and I also train organizations across the country. And we've screened 1.7 million people now in 20 years. But there are 74 million children in our country. I'm going to be really busy. Thank you, Michelle.
So I've been trying to get Sharon to do a program with me because I want to help her make money so she can do more of that.
Yes.
Okay. This is just like such a dream come true. I found a way to help Sharon do more of that. And it could literally exponentially blow up what she's able to do. Okay. And Myron, 30 seconds on Real Fathers Inc.
Hello, everybody. Myron, Real Fathers Inc. We help single dads with mentor counseling and education. Reason why I formed this is back in 2011, my wife passed away. I had two daughters, 10 and 7, and wasn't no resources for no support groups out here for that.
Doing it.
So I met Myron a couple of, I don't know, about a year ago at a DJ Cocktails and Connections event, which by the way, you should definitely go.
It's there.
You know what, a star.
So, yeah.
That's exactly what happened. She introduced me and then we ended
I
up
was
meeting again at
going
DJ. Thank you for correcting me. That would have been
Yeah, I
a
was
faux
going
pas.
on.
She
I was
said
saying-
you can meet them because she knows that I'm always trying to find a way to help nonprofits. So when I heard Myron's story, I'm like, oh, you've definitely got to come on board with it. So Myron and I have been talking weekly on a regular basis, and he's been getting the marketing support, like, ongoing for nothing anyway. So if ever you work with me, you're gonna get that no matter what, right? But I'm really super excited about Myron because if you're a single dad, you're a single mom, there's tons of support out there, but if
Yeah,
you're a
right.
single dad, there's nothing.
You're
okay?
right.
So,
So,
what I'm asking for the growth edge is that we're putting people on a wait list for Q2 and Q3, okay? So if you know any other nonprofits that that need funds, introduce me to them and I'll put them on the waiting list to add them to Q2 and Q3. So Q2 and Q3, I want to repeat this. So my goal is to have 100 brand new members in the Elevate Wellness community, to have 8 businesses I'm serving and 3 to 4 nonprofits that I'm serving. And so my ask for you is I want your introductions, okay? So number one, I want to do a one-on-one with all of you, again, to talk about your business goals and how I can support you and how we can find synergy. So you go to meetwithmick.com and you can create a lunch, coffee, a Zoom and meet with me, okay? Here's my contact information, screenshot that. And I'm really looking for you guys to help me grow my business this year. I want to focus on serving this year, not selling. That was a big awareness that I came to over the holidays, is that I'm spending 90% of my time selling when I want to spend 90% of my time serving. And so if you guys help me to find the people to serve, then I can do what I do best, which is serving and helping other people to increase their revenue, either through fundraising or through increased revenue in their business, okay? So that's what my ask is. I'm really literally narrowing down who I work with. And my goal is to do this year, and then next year I'll know how to scale and expand, right? So ultimately, I'd like to have 30 nonprofits and businesses that I'm serving and 1,000 people at least minimally in my Elevate Wellness community. And if I do that, I'll have no problem reaching a $100,000 tithing goal. So I'm really asking you guys to help me to help the organizations that I'm trying to help. And also, as the adult child of a caregiver, I plan on self-funding throughout my mom's aging. She will never go in a nursing home. So I created this to be able to work from home and do for myself and my mother what I'm helping other people to do. And so I'll be communicating that on social. Feel free, please comment on my social stuff, share my social stuff. Definitely introduce me to the people you think might be interested. I really super appreciate your time. And you guys, thanks so much for joining us online. And I want to be respectful of all of your time because it's right close to 11 o'clock. So that's it, guys. We have a couple minutes, I think, for Q&A or commentary. Let's see. We have 3 minutes. Anybody have anything burning desires?
I think you should put, thing on paper because I'm better remember all that stuff that you do and what's involved, because I'm getting confused going through all the different levels and what you really,
If
you know,
you-
what.
if you
what
go to
would be
my
the best way to
website-
get involved.
Good question.
Yeah.
Healthy Change. If you go to my website and click more info, there's a one sheet for the Growth Edge.
Okay.
There's a one sheet for the Wellness Connection. And as of this weekend, there'll be a section for the individual element with the wellness community. I wanted to have the community up before I added it. So there'll be a one sheet for that too. So you can go to my website, print it out. It's one sheet. It tells everybody exactly what I do and how to reach me. And then also we can do a one-on-one. There's a lot to digest in one session. And that's why I had the meet with Mick piece of it. I wanted to give you the global. And then from there we can talk some more, but you're right. There should be a one sheet thing and there is.
Okay.
So I will email it to you.
Oh, good. Okay.
You guys will all get an email of the one sheets for the Growth Edge, for the Wellness Connection, and for the Elevate Wellness Community, so that you can share it with people.
Okay.
So much. Anybody else?
I'm proud of you, sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl.
Me too.
You know how I met Shar? I was invited to do to paint a dress as an artist with my art hat on. I was invited to paint the dress for Camo de Cure. And Shar is a badass Marine, right? Marine.
I'm an Air Force
You're an Air Force. The girl that I work with is a Marine.
Lisa.
So I had a Marine and it was amazing. And there was probably 10 girls. And we met backstage and like kind of what happened with her is probably what happened with you and I, right? And you go, oh my God, I love you. And so it's been about 8 years. And so it's really, and thank you all so much for coming. I want to respect your time. I really appreciate you just making this shift a real thing. And, you know, it's all gonna unfold and I'll get more detailed and we'll dig in deeper. And so there's the overview and thanks so much, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, no, we.
All I've done, community advice and fun, grant writing.
Okay, I do get it, I ain't got it in print writing.
Tell your number.
No, I live right by your salon. Yeah. We need to, you know, Austin, starting on facial.
Oh, get a massage and get a facial.